festival village. This is a place where we can diffuse the fragrance of Christ. Oh my God, somebody just shout. Let me hear you say Maarten. What an esteemed privilege. What a unique opportunity. What an incredible time we can have in the presence of God when we band together. When we understand what God is doing. The Bible says God is doing a new thing. Can we perceive it? Can you perceive it, St. Maarten? After 7 years of serving the region, this Pan-Caribbean Temple Network is launching tonight and has already launched some of its principles. And I'm here to conclude the last two principles. The principle of unity and the principle of respect. How many of you know that the catalyst for any true reformation is always found in the willingness of individuals and structures who are willing to be reshaped? And that the principles that are being launched tonight, these principles are deliberate. These principles are strategic in establishing the framework for guiding this network to leave a legacy of faith and a legacy of hope. We must recognize what God is doing in the earth and be able to flow and connect with it. Tonight I want to begin with the principle of respect. Somebody say respect. We heard it earlier from the Master of Ceremonies that temple is a company of faith. That simply means that it is backed by an understanding that God is in control. That God is the helm. He has a preeminent rule and reign in this network. As a company of faith, we must be concerned about transferring a legacy of faith to the next generation. It is a legacy that includes the principle of respect for one another. At both a national and regional level, we have seen the rise of antisocial behavior that is threatening the very foundation of our region. The loss of respect for parents, the loss of respect for teachers, the loss of respect for elders and each other. It is extensive, it is rampant. By adopting the principle of respect, we are publicly affirming tonight our belief is that we must return to a culture that reinforces positive living and esteem for each other. Hence the reason why the Temple Network launched the extremely popular Badness Out of Style. It is not just a mere fad or a simple tagline. It is a conceptual blueprint that is transforming the way each of us live. At Temple, we are absolutely convinced that the principle of respect is a deliberate and strategic approach for implementing sustainable solutions to the pressing environmental, economic, and social problems. And if we're going to exclaim and proclaim tonight that badness is out of style, we've got to get to the root of the badness, which is selfishness. We declare that selfishness is out of style. Well, y'all ain't talking to me tonight, St. Maarten. We declare that selfishness. The Bible says in Philippians chapter 2 and verse 4, let not each one think of himself, but to consider each other. Make some noise if you agree that the selfishness is out of style, foolishness is out of style, fakeness is out of style. Out of style. Somebody say out of style. The selfishness, it is rooted in selfishness. Then it, of course, the byproduct is badness. Let's go on to unity. How are we going to accomplish such a phenomenal task? As a company dedicated to all things Caribbean, we believe that whether we are English, whether we are Dutch, whether we are French, or whether we are Spanish, Indo-Asian, We are one people, one Caribbean, and one destiny. Say that with me. One people, one Caribbean, and one destiny. While we may not agree on everything, Temple is determined to foster unity within the region. We are banding together through effective partnerships with government, with industries, with schools, and with private citizens. We understand that in order to be effective in eliminating the pressing social, environmental, economic problems facing us, we must link up. We must connect. We must elevate community. We must recognize that when we get together, our couple their labor. People have been known historically to achieve more as a result of working with others than against them. I want to draw your attention to the prophet Nehemiah. When Nehemiah made the decision to rebuild the wall around Jerusalem, he realized that he had a monumental task in front of him. Not only did he need to convince the king to grant him protection and materials and time off for this project, but Nehemiah also needed to launch one of the greatest volunteer campaigns of all time. The strategy that he communicated, it connected every leader and every parent, every tribe and every family to their role in building the wall. I want you to know tonight that Nehemiah stood up in spite of a threatening enemy, impossible odds and plans to frustrate the work of their hands. The walls were rebuilt and a city was restored. Like Nehemiah, we cannot afford to remain immobile while the walls of our homes are broken down, while the loss of respect is rampant, while teenage pregnancy is at an all-time high, and while divorce is wrecking and wreaking havoc in our families. At Temple, we are partnering with the modern-day Nehemiahs, those who are willing to take risks and lead a revolution. Oh, clap your hands, all you people. If you're with me tonight, if you understand that you are a modern-day Nehemiah, with God's help and an integrated strategy. Because that's the problem with the church. We don't have a strategy. Just because God says he will fight for us does not give us permission to be lazy. It does not give us permission to be unintentional with our strategy. With God's help and with an integrated strategy, we will become an active part of God's story to restore and to redeem what has been broken. I submit to you tonight, all over this region, that building the wall was a difficult task, but the Israelites accomplished it in 52 days. Everyone thought it was impossible. It was beyond Nehemiah's capacity to do it alone, but it wasn't beyond what they could do with God, working together.